Here inside the KU Cavs, a winner tonight, 122-100 against the Toronto Raptors. It's the final home game for 2 weeks for the Cavs as they head out on the road for 6 straight. Chris Fedor, Chris Haynes, Joe Vardon to recap this one. And guys, there was a conversation before the game. There was a conversation after the game. And there's been a conversation for a couple of days, started by Washington Wizards point guard John Wall, about where Kyrie Irving stands right now in terms of all-star voting. The fans can continue to vote for the next 2 weeks. The fan voting ends on January 18th, and right now, Kyrie, being one of the most popular players in the NBA, would be in the all-star game. Do you think he's worthy of that right now?
Worthy? Well, based off of his games, probably not, if we just want to be fair and square. But his track record, his popularity, his commercials, the fact that he's a small guy that that people can gravitate towards, like a Stephen Curry, it's going to be hard to keep him out that All-Star game. Even though he hasn't played many games this year, people know who Kyrie Irving is. And so when you're looking at that NBA All-Star, roster, when you're looking at the list of names out there, Kyrie names just sticks out to the casual fan. He's going to get a lot more of those votes, and I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up in there.
John Wall just named Eastern Conference Player of the Month for December. Do you think he has a point here, Joe?
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think cares more about this, sports writers or players?
I think sports writers and fans.
Well, I would disagree and say that fans do not care about this at all. The fans vote who they want to see in the game. They want to see Kyrie Irving. That should be the end of the discussion. The All-Star game doesn't count for anything in as far as who plays where in the finals or whatever.
Right.
It doesn't mean anything.
But when you're having conversations about a guy at the end of the career, sometimes you do refer back to how many All-Star games the guy makes.
So the point is, the fans believe that Kyrie Irving deserves to be in this game. And so I would say that he does. And furthermore, what's the voting got? 2 weeks left? If he plays anywhere near for the next 2 weeks, especially on the 6-game road trip coming up like he did tonight, there's not going to be any argument. He looks like an all-star. But as Chris said, he's been an all-star for most of his entire career, and he has built up the cachet to have enough fans who want to see him out there.
And another thing too that players do. That's John Wall spoke out about that. But that's something that players always talk about. We got to understand these All-Star game appearances sometimes are connected to huge bonuses in the players' contract.
Absolutely.
The Kyrie Irving situation last year. Damian Lillard right now, he's signed an extension for 5 years, 128. If he makes the All-Star game right now, that deal goes to 5 years, 144 or something like that. So it's really important for these players. That's why some of these players speak up or talk amongst themselves about why this guy is getting in and what's fair. Should we allow the fans to continue voting? But as of right now, where the system is in place, the fans are going to continue to vote for the popular names.
So, Joe, I understand where you're coming from, and you don't care all that much, but how would you respond to the fan? And we had some in the comments section at cleveland.com. We had some on Twitter that said, well, wait a minute. John Wall's been playing from the very beginning of the season, and he's compiled more stats, and he's had more of an impact. Kyrie, at the time that the voting is going to end, is going to play, 3 weeks of an NBA season? How is that fair for the guys that have been there from the very beginning this year?
Fairness is solely on the fans. I think Chris brings up a great point about the contracts. That's an agent issue. That's something that they negotiate when they're trying to figure out how much money to get for their clients. The All-Star game, and I'm pretty, I'm going to stick to this point. The All-Star game is for the fans. They vote for who they want to see. They used to vote for Yao Ming, Kobe Bryant. Has Kobe been worthy of an All-Star starting job this year? No. But his career, he's one of the best of all time, so he should be out there.
LeBron said after the game it shouldn't even be a question. Kyrie should be an All-Star, and he was asked why. His response, he's just that good.